I went to see the train's departure from the control cabin. The driver was watching a boxing match on his phone while driving the train. Man, that really makes me feel safe. What could this be? This is probably the weirdest thing out of everything I tried in Cambodia. Look at this. You have to go in barefoot. They leave all their shoes outside and go in. And then when you leave, you grab yours. How's it going? Good morning. It's 6 a.m. in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. And we're at their train station because we're going to travel to Batambang.
The journey we're going to take is about 300 kilometers.
Here we see on this schedule that we're going to leave at 6:40 from Phnom Penh station. And we'll arrive in Batambang at 1 o'clock post-meridian. And we'll have stops at 4 intermediate stations. Many people arrive at the station by tuk-tuk. I stayed at a hotel next door precisely so I could walk here, not have to get up early and not be in a rush. Well, I did get up early, but not as early because it leaves at 6:40 and it's the only train going there today. No, look at these cars with the windows open so you can film the scenery better. But no, this isn't the one that's going to run. That one over there is the one we took the other day to leave Sihanoukville. So the one going to Batambang will be that one over there. There are 2 daily services. That one over there is the one we took the other day to Sihanoukville. This is the one going to Batambang. And the rest of the rolling stock, like this one here, that one over there. So where are they going? We're back on the train again. They're DMUs, for those asking what they are. In the previous video, when I went to Sihanoukville, people were asking about it. They're diesel multiple units with control cabs at each end. The cars are similar in both cases, both on the train going to Sihanoukville and the one to Batambang. The difference is that the other one had 4 cars. In this particular case, it's a triple set. 3 cars. For this trip, I went straight for first class. Since the cars are already similar, I'm not going to go into detail about each one of them. You can see them in the other video. Let's also check out what's up with the intermediate stations. I have this comfort. We'll be able to do a little editing. I already brought my backpack because I'm going to stay in Batambang and I have my laptop. We'll be able to take a little nap too. I'm tired. Yes, what I noticed is that Cambodians got on this train and there are no foreigners except for me, at least based on physical appearance. I'm just making an assumption. But there's no one with a Western face. The Westerners stayed downstairs. I'm going to move to these 2 seats and I have my backpack here. Although I could put it up there, it's more convenient here. And I don't think first class will fill up, so we're going to be really comfortable. This footrest is amazing. I feel like I have a Singer sewing machine. Right on time, at 6:40, we left Phnom Penh station. I went to watch the train depart from the control cabin, at least from the outside where you can see it. And first we have the character, the one who must be the assistant with the hat. He's amazing. And then the conductor was watching a boxing match on his phone while driving the train. Damn, that really makes me feel safe. I've met some irresponsible train conductors, but never to this extent. And the train, compared to the one that goes to Sihanoukville, is practically empty. Not many people ride it. And did it stop that abruptly? Most of them are Cambodians, except for 2 people who look like foreigners. And in this car, which is first class, there are just 2 of us, just a girl and me. And if you're wondering how much my first class tickets cost me, $15, and in second class they were $8. Because of the number of people traveling in this car, it reminds me of the solar train of La Quebrada. Well, at least here there's 1 passenger. When I took it, the train there in Jujuy was empty. And I love this carpeted floor because you can walk around in socks. How comfortable. I'm just the way I want to be. Good. But look at this freight train. What's it carrying there? Sand? I've never seen a freight train directly transporting bags. Honestly, it's really strange. If any of you have seen it like this in real life, let me know in the comments. My friends from the railway community on the channel, subscribe. We just passed through Romea station. Only 1 person got off and we keep going. And on top of that, the dining car isn't working. At least I'll get some work done here. We're just the way we want to be. There's nothing better than editing on trains. We're at the second of the Bonac stations. We stopped for maybe 2 minutes at most, people got off, and we started moving again. We couldn't get off at the station. In fact, there wasn't even a platform to get off on. People had to jump down. And there was a guy with a bunch of flower bouquets, the last Cambodian romantic. Persat Station. Here we can get off for 20 minutes. Let's see, what are they selling around here? All meat, and more meat. She's handling the bill for me since I have no idea about the cost. She could charge me anything. 6,000 reals, 1,000 for fruit. I would love to be able to find coffee around here. The other foreigners traveling are French. This place is full of French people. What could this be? Is that it?
Yes, let's see.
There's valuable okon, a much needed stop to get us some food. Since I haven't had breakfast, I got this fruit mix and they didn't have coffee, so I bought myself an energy drink. These things are garbage, but well, there was nothing else. There wasn't even hot coffee or cold coffee, so I bought it. This is called karalam, which is a sugar cane filled with rice, beans, and coconut milk, at least supposedly. And I asked, and it didn't have any meat, so let's try it. This is like the weirdest thing out of everything I've tried in Cambodia. Well, let's see, you open it like this. I don't really understand the mechanism, but oh, look here. You can see it. I don't know if you can see the rice. I'm going to make a mess here on the train. Let's grab this bag to collect everything, but you break it and all the sticky rice appears here and you eat it, you grab a handful and eat it. I imagine you're doing it all wrong, but well, let's try it. Well, this is rice, beans, and they mash it all together with coconut milk. Man, it's delicious, huh? Honestly, I fell short by buying just one. A topo around the world, which I'm always going to give you. Bring these disinfectant wipes to clean the cans when you buy them in places where they're dirty. Ideally, you shouldn't drink from the can, but well, I don't have a cup. It would also be a topo around the world tip to bring a glass, but I drink from the can. But here, I got it and it was really dirty. Should I keep going with this? At least, out of sight, out of mind? There are people who get off at stations in the middle of the route that are run down. Keep in mind that this service started operating in 1932. That year, Phnom Penh station was inaugurated, but it stopped operating in 2009, and by that time, the service was already terrible. The tracks were in terrible shape, there were a lot of delays, even derailments, and as a result, the service was cancelled. And the route from Phnom Penh to Batambang was only reactivated in 2019. And actually, the route originally goes all the way to Phuket, which is the border with Thailand. But since 2025, there have been some conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia, and it no longer goes all the way there. It only goes as far as Batambang. In fact, in 1942, there was a service that connected Thailand with Cambodia, but in 1946, they suspended it because there were already conflicts at that time. At 102 post meridium, we have finally arrived at Batambang station. We have arrived on time and as expected. This train ride wasn't as adventurous. It wasn't like the one we took to Sihanoukville, but the adventure is coming here and it's a railway adventure. We're going to check out the bamboo train that runs on these tracks. I'll tell you the story soon. I get the feeling that Batambang is much less touristy than Phnom Penh or Sihanoukville. Everything here is much more laid back. These deteriorated European-style buildings are incredible. They're from the time of the French protectorate. These walls are an example of the last 100 years of Cambodian history. Look at this. You enter the place barefoot. They leave all their shoes outside and go in. And then when you leave, you grab yours. This thing next to it is also something typical of Cambodia. I didn't see it in the other cities I visited, but here I did. Maybe it happened there too, but I didn't pay attention. Oh, this one is harder. The pity. What's up with that drawing? Urban art from Batambang. There's a sign that says this mural is part of the 2023 edition of the Urban Art Festival by an actor, Jex Bangkok from Thailand. And that festival is approved by United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization approves all kinds of things. Burn some wood, cut some firewood. Of course, here everyone cooks in the streets and uses that firewood to cook. Inside that pot is where the real stew is hidden. I want to take this opportunity to tell you to go check out the content we make for the people at Yuyo on their channel, where we take on the High Stew Challenge. How much can we eat at each place I go for less than $4? Here we also see another one of these murals, Potato Man, the Potato Man. If you weren't eating pasty in this contest, you couldn't participate. In this case, it was drawn by Aserk, a Chinese-Taiwanese artist. These buildings have a certain vibe. On one hand, they remind me of Malabo in Equatorial Guinea, and on the other, also of Havana in Cuba. And they also have a vibe similar to some small towns in Poland, so it gave me a mix, but it's mostly that Cuba and Malabo style more than anything. Very similar. Hi, how are you doing, Cambodian guys? Hello. Hello. Oh. The little kids are coming to say hi to you, but there are an incredible number of murals here. Here we have the stoner elephant. This one was actually made by a Cambodian, and now it's time for the munchies. After so much, I like this one. This one is awesome, really well done. Honestly, it's the best one I've seen. The others are kind of whatever, but this one is cool. It's by Heart 13. From Indonesia, it's called Mekong River, the Mekong River. We can see that they also have a pretty big market here. Here we have a river called the Stone Sanke. I thought there would be a riverside promenade, but it's under repair. We've arrived at the hotel. $20 a night for this room. Come check it out with me. 2 beds instead of 1. It has a fan. And you might say, hey Topo, isn't there air conditioning? No, no, no. There is air conditioning here, orange curtains. A television from the time of Nyopa. Same with the furniture. We're on a trip through time. We have a balcony, or so I was told. Let's see. Maximum security. Here we go. Wow, what luxury. From here we can see the whole city. There's a construction site right in front. And the rest, and I'm just going to show you the bathroom. Basic. For being a town in Cambodia, for $20 I expected a bit more. But oh well, there was another one that was $40 and I was going to go. And I regret not going, honestly. This happened to me because I was being cheap. But oh well, it's just one night that I'm going to stay here. And then tomorrow we're going to take the long-awaited bamboo train.
You're living with me one of the happiest days
Of my life. Cheers. But
This depends on me. Hey, let's cross the little bridge there.
It's scary, huh, being here?